Formula One might have had a slow start to 2020, but the virtual version's raring to go. Here's the new features you need to know about in F1 2020. What a series Codemasters have created since they secured the F1 license in 2010. In that decade, it's gone from strength to strength to strength to strength to strength, gently ushering in classic cars and a career mode with RPG depth around a consistently evolving handling model that mimics the ever-changing sport, however regrettable those changes are. Now, the protective cover's been whipped away from F1 2020. We're free to peer at its new chassis and revel in all the technical details that could make this the deepest and most involving game in the series to date. Before we begin, smash the old subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a vid from us. Okay, I was going to put this one at the end to finish on a high, but I'm too excited about it, so here it is right now. Career mode lets you run your own team. This is a massive expansion on the premise of career mode, which is already a deep 10-season undertaking where car development and contract negotiations mattered just as much as what you did on the tarmac. Now though, career mode is married to all the best bits from the first grid game. Picking sponsors, hiring and firing drivers, and setting team orders, even designing your car's livery. You can pick your engine supplier from Mercedes, Ferrari or Renault and improve your HQ in what I'm completely guessing will be a similar manner to the car upgrade tree in previous games. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure why this hasn't been a staple since the first grid game, but I'm definitely excited for its return. The 2020 race calendar brings home races for two of the grid's most popular young drivers. Dutch steward botherer Max Verstappen gets a reworked Circuit Zandvoort, the F1 travelling circus returning here for the first time since 1985. And British Thai driver Alexander Albon sees the Thai Grand Prix added to the calendar for the first time. Coincidence? Well, yeah, it is. That means we've got two new layouts, a virgin tarmac to stamp with our dominance in online time trials and obviously races as well, but it's likely going to be racing against some infuriatingly fast strangers' ghosts where you'll spend most of your time with them. Learning the lines on a new track is much easier when there's someone better showing you the way, isn't it? Veterans of the series will remember that we began career mode with an enjoyable but short-lived prelude in F2 last year, the junior formula where many champions-to-be learn their craft. Combining an official F1 license with some cheesy but likeable soap opera caliber storytelling, which was again straight from another previous Cody's classic, the venerable Toka race driver. It teed up your ascent to the big leagues nicely.
Anyway, it doesn't matter who wins. Next season, I'll be spending my Sunday afternoons atop the F1 podium, while you two will be teaching kids to drive go-karts. Good luck, yeah?
Well, guess what? It's back, carrying once again the official license, and although any reports of home and away grade narrative cutscenes are unconfirmed, we do know that you can now race in a full season on it before stepping up to F1. That is massive for me. It really builds up the immersion of the fantasy. It'll give us time to want that F1 contract rather than being handed one an hour after the download finishes.
Look, I understand why you did it. But do you really think an F1 team will allow you to just drive however you want? Come on.
While the motorsport world invites Michael to keep fighting and wishes his family all the best, we also celebrate the 7-time world champion's career in an extra special fashion in 2020 with 4 of his career-defining cars in the deluxe edition. The Jordan 191 from 1991, the 1994 Benetton B194, the 1995 Benetton B195 and Ferrari F2000 are all present, correct, and almost certainly really hard to drive, if previous classic content is anything to go by. The twin prongs of challenge and nostalgia will be enough to tempt many into going deluxe this year, and for anyone who grew up in this era of F1, those liveries are forever etched in your brain, so the chance to drive them like an old grandma around Suzuka Short is irresistible. Let's finish on a bit of a base observation. Wow, it looks really nice, doesn't it? I spent a lot of hours staring at the back of 2019's cars, and it's striking to me just how much better F1 2020 looks just a year on, especially considering the high visual bar last year. In particular, texture resolutions look higher across the board, but especially in helmets, which also seem rounder. Seriously. And it manages to nail matte finishes on the Renault and Red Bull cars better than before, while reflections on the gloss finish cars like this Racing Point look noticeably higher. The car improvements definitely look more pronounced than those on the track itself, but they're enough for me to feel pumped about staring at an AlphaTauri's rear wing for another 100 hours. That's enough from me. What are you most excited to see from F1 2020? Tell us your ideas for what you'd like to see in your dream F1 game too. Kart mode? Pit crew mode? Leave us a like if you enjoyed the vid, and we'll catch you in the next one.